Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. Another rapid fire Q&A. Before we start, check the info box down below for more mixing courses, discounts on great plugins. And if you want to support the channel, we have t-shirts, we have a Patreon page. Let's get to the question Arya asked. It's a basic old question, but people still wonder about it, so let's answer it. EQ before, after compression, or before and after compression, or the other way around, and most important, why? Of course, the answer inevitably is it depends. But let's see why before or after. Usually, my way of mixing, I do corrective EQ first and then compression, and then most likely EQ after it. So why the first EQ? The first EQ is because you don't want to feed your compressor with excess frequencies that are not supposed to be there anyway. For example, vocals, that's the most basic example, that has some low resonance in the 60, 50 range or lower, or a bump, air blast, something like that. And this is not just for vocals, it goes for electric guitars, for snare, for anything else. Because the low range is very powerful, has a lot of energy, if those frequencies are not supposed to be there anyway, you're gonna cut it. You don't want the compressor to react to them. And so, since you're going to cut them anyway, just cut it before hitting the compressor so the compressor doesn't react to something that is not supposed to be there, something that you don't want to be there in the first place after in the mix. Sometimes though, for the mid and high frequency range, that actually works the other way around. Because if you think about sidechain filters, internal sidechain filters on compressors, they usually take out the low end from the detector, so they react more to the high and mid range. So if you have, again, a vocal that has a little bit too much energy in the mid range, or S's in the high mid range, you probably don't want to cut it before hitting the compressor, so the compressor actually react to those. This way it will not work as a multi-band compressor. There's also a bit of confusion there. We're still talking about a wide band compressor, so it will duck the entire signal, the entire spectrum, but reacting to those S's or to those maybe high vowels in the high mid range more than anything else. And that's what you want. You want the compressor to tame the dynamics, reacting to what spikes more. Usually you wanna take out the low range that is not supposed to be there, maybe low mid range, so that high power energy doesn't over trigger the compressor. But for the high mid range, an excess in that range could actually work in your favor if you leave it there and let the compressor take care of it. Okay, why would you do that instead of cutting it? Because cutting with an EQ in that range, high mid range, always takes out some energy. Okay, especially on a vocal, guitar, synths. The high mid is where the energy is, where human ears are more perceptive to the sound. So when you statically cut that range, you always take away something, unless it's like really in excess and it's annoying to begin with. So in that way, you don't cut statically, you just tame the dynamics, but the content, the frequency content, the harmonic content is still there. You didn't cut it with an EQ. So it's not as straightforward as it seems. Yeah, there are basic rules, there are common practice, let's say, which is the ones I just listed. EQ after compression is because most compressors tend to muffle maybe the high end or the mid range, and so we prefer to re-add some life into our track after compressing by adding EQ or an exciter or saturation, for example, so that we rebalance our audio or enhance it if it was not degraded from the compression, if nothing was taken out from the compression. We still want to make it better. So an EQ after the compressor makes sense in that way as what we call a sweetening EQ. So this is a basic question, but still, maybe it's useful to have it like in, condensed in a short answer. I personally work like this 99% of the time, so I couldn't even think about a situation in which I put compression first and then EQ, other than the track is so well recorded that really doesn't need any corrective EQ. That's a case in which you can probably run a compressor first, or if it's that well recorded, you could even write it and not even compress it at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this answered the question, Arya, and all of you guys. I hope this video was useful. I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. Leave all your questions for both the rapid fire Q&A and the live stream, the live Q&A that I will set up soon, I promise, in the comment down below. Check the info box, subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.